Pause the video real quick. 2 hands to note. On table 1, dead end street opened over a limper on the cutoff, and we called with 9-8 of hearts on the button. I think that's a perfectly fine play. 9-8 plays very well after the flop and can flop big draws. The flop came king 10-4, and our opponent checked. Considering that our opponent checked on this board, I'd be inclined to just take a stab at it. I think a lot of players on a kind of board like this are going to be betting any made hand they had and checking any hand that missed. You know, make queens, jacks, ace jack, ace queen. So you may be able to steal it cheaply if you take a stab. And since you don't have really any showdown value, you only have a backdoor straight draw, it's probably worth just throwing out, you know, a $2 bet to try and take it away. A lot of people are playing fit or fold, which means that they're just playing to see a flop and make a hand. And if they miss, they move on to the next hand. So you can kind of abuse your opponents by, you know, taking stabs at pots where it's unlikely that if they checked it to you that they hit. And then on table 3, the lower left table, by the way, number them 1, 2, 3, 4, going left to right, top to bottom. We make an isolation raise against the limper with king queen to $1. Out of the small blind, I'm more inclined to make it $1.25, just because our opponents are going to be much more likely to call our raises anyways. So I want to put as much money in preflop with a hand like king queen as I can against a limper who's, you know, limping his 9-5 suited or whatever, just to punish him and build a pot for the times he does call, make a worse hand than ours, and it'll be easier to stack him. So keep that in mind. And then here we did take a stab on the queen turn. I'd be less inclined to take a stab when the queen turns, just because now there's a lot of hands that have combo draws. You know, a jack now has an open-end straight draw if he has a hand like jack queen. And, you know, he could very well, with his raise size here, it looks like he has pocket queens and has a set. So obviously we're folding. But if we didn't stab the flop, I'd be inclined to just try and, you know, show down the hand for nothing. So ace jack 5 is a good flop to continuation bet when you're the pre-flop raiser here in the small blind. I would actually, since we did make it $1 pre-flop, I would definitely go ahead and fire this. It's going to be very hard for him to call us if he doesn't have an ace. And to be honest, you know, people, sure, they do love limp calling aces, but they also limp call trash like 9-7 offsuit. So I definitely would have continuation bet this flop. And although we have some showdown value with king, queen high, you know, we've got the nuts for no pair hands, I would have certainly bet this flop. And we do take it down with king, queen high, which is always nice. I think there would be very good time, by the way, if you're looking on how to multi-table, like a tip, is to take notes whenever you get free information.